Classic Business with Michael Avery on Classic 1027 in Johannesburg and Fine Music Radio in Cape Town.
Well, speaking of rights, the lockdown period has raised serious questions around labour rights, labour-related issues, confusion on the rights and obligations of employees and employers. Can employees be compelled to take annual leave, as is happening? Can employers decide not to pay their employees for the duration of the shutdown? And what effectively is the right thing to do? We saw Employment and Labour Minister Thulas Nxesi, who held a televised briefing on Tuesday, doing a good job of adding to the confusion. Addressing the question, he began by expressing disapproval of employers who had opted to compel employees to take their annual leave. And in the very next breath, he acknowledged that it is in fact their legal right. And we've got Cheryl-Jane Kujenga, interim CEO of Adcorp, on the line just to talk about some of these issues. Cheryl-Jane, can employees be compelled to take annual leave during the lockdown?
Evening, Michael. Thank you for having me on your show. And thank you for starting with probably the most challenging question we're all facing at the moment. I'll be honest, there are differing views about the matter. And we have to take a step back and look at the reality of where corporate South Africa finds itself. We've also got to take a step back and really think about what it will take for this economy to get out of this current crisis and the recession that will more than likely follow. Companies are going to need to make some tough calls at this point in time. And government needs to step in and help employees.
So you haven't answered my question directly, though. Are employers within their legal rights to compel an employee to take annual leave over this period? Is there a definitive answer on this? Because I'm certain that a company could sit down with its workforce and say, right, guys, we all have to share the pain here. We're not getting any income, so we have to compel you to take some kind of annual leave. Otherwise, we might have to shut the doors. And then, employees would be open to having the conversation. But when it comes down to the law, it does look like a bit of a grey area.
Michael, it is and it isn't. So if you look at the regulations, employers are allowed to engage with their employees with regards to timing of annual leave. The reality of the situation at this point in time is there's such extenuating circumstances that require more than just annual leave to be taken in a lot of instances. And if we look at the guidance that we've been giving and that we've also received, is organizations are going to need to start thinking about things like supervening impossibility to perform and really have open and honest conversations with their employees about their ability to continue to fund the payrolls that they run. The challenge comes about with regards to the pressure that we may find the relief funds under, and whether or not they will sufficiently cover the gap that is created.
Cheryl-Jane, thank you very much. We're going to have to explore this and all of the other issues that I think employers are grappling with through this unprecedented lockdown on a 30-minute panel. It needs a lot more time to fully ventilate all the other issues, but really appreciate you holding on the line just to give us your insights into that burning question of the moment. Cheryl-Jane Kujenga, interim CEO of Adcorp. And that